Hello and welcome to Retro Americana. I'm your host, Jeremy Scott. Here it is, Season 1 finale, folks. We started doing this show in February of this year, and now we're into late June. 20 weeks and 19 episodes, and a lot of great comments from you out there, the viewing public. All right, so, you know, what I'm going to show you today, I've had my hands on for a while, and when it came to the point where it's like, well, you know, what are we going to do about the last episode? You know, I don't want to go out of the last episode of the first season on a lame note. So I thought about it, and you know what? The first episode we did had a cartoon in it. It was called Destination Earth from, I think it was 1954. Well, this one is called Make Mine Freedom from 1948. That's why I got the old school American flag that flew outside of this house for a number of years. I think it's probably older than me, but I'm not sure. Make Mine Freedom from 1948. This is a cartoon with its targets on the eye, on the freaking right between the eyes of communism. Because after World War II, in a lot of ways, I think we needed a new boogeyman. But at the same time, the Russians were a viable threat, so I think, you know, the stars aligned on that one. Stalin wasn't the most trustworthy individual, and I think everybody knew it. So this one's all about, you know, death to communism. And by using cartoons, it also, you know, kids can relate to it. And they go, oh, it's a cartoon. And, you know, just one of the things that we did. So, Make Mine Freedom from 1948, but don't go anywhere after commercial, because we're going to come back with some TV commercials. The best batch of TV commercials that I think that we've done so far. And then, of course, we'll have an artifact. So, from 1948, Make Mine Freedom. Enjoy.
America is many things to many people. To a 17-year-old kid, it's the malt shop on the corner. To Grandpa, it's the front porch in the cool of the evening. To Mother and her family, it's church on Sunday morning. And to Dad, it's his favorite relaxation. It's the Cracker Barrel philosophers in Crabtree Corners. And it's the tycoons in Wall Street. It's all races, creeds, and religions. It's freedom to work at the job you like. Freedom of speech and to peaceably assemble. Freedom to own property. Security from unlawful search or seizure.
Where's your warrant, Flatfoot?
The right to a speedy and public trial. Protection against cruel punishments and excessive fines. The right to vote. And to worship God in your own way. It is these freedoms that have made America strong.
Okay, so we got our freedom. But management's lousing up everything.
Labor is at fault. It's ruining the country.
My constituents, as your elected representative, I can assure you Labor's right, management's right. I'm strictly neutral.
Labor, management, politicians, phooey. They can't tell corn from oats.
Work! Take the money out of it.
Hurry, step right up, folks. Here's the answer to your problems. Dr. Utopia's sensational new discovery, ISM. Ism will cure any ailment of the body politic. It's terrific. It's tremendous. Once you swallow the contents of this bottle, you'll have the bountiful benefit of higher wages, shorter hours, and security. Enormous profits, no strikes. Remember, you're the big boss. Government control, no worry about votes. Name your own salary. Bigger crops, lower costs. Why, ISM even makes the weather perfect every day. And now then, because we are introducing this amazing item for the first time in this country, it isn't going to cost you 1 cent. All you have to do is sign this little scrap of paper, and you get your bottle absolutely free.
I hereby turn over to ISM Incorporated everything I have, including my freedom and the freedom of my children and my children's children, in return for which said ISM promises to take care of me forever.
Get out of the way.
Pardon me.
And who are you, my good man?
I'm John Q. Public.
Ah, my fine friend, you're just in time to share this generous and gigantic offer. Sign right here.
Mind if I read it first?
Hurry up, let me see it.
Keep your shirts on, boys. You know, including my freedom. Freedom? Well, sign away my freedom. Why, this is ridiculous.
Don't be corny, brother.
Sure, our system of free enterprise isn't perfect. But before we throw it away for some imported double talk, let's turn the clock back a few years to see what it's done for us. For example, back in the 1890s, Joe Dokes was just a guy who liked to tinker around his barn. Some people thought Joe was lazy. Some even thought he was nuts. But one day, he had an idea. And because he was free to dream his dream and tinker, Joe had a chance to make something of himself and his idea. So, of course, some people didn't think so much of Joe's idea. But that didn't stop him. So Joe got some money from young Aunt Minnie and Uncle Angus and Grandpappy and Mr. Titus. When Joe's friends and relatives used their savings to help him buy tools and property, they were capitalists. Don't blush, folks. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Now, naturally, Joe needed some help. So he hired Willie Lumpkin, who was out of work anyway, and before long, Willie had the know-how and became skilled labor. Because capital, management, and labor worked together, Joe's idea grew. It grew and did things even he never dreamed of. Today, the